In the last video, we went over how to do measures of central tendency, mean, median, and mode, and variability, variance, and standard deviation. Now let's go ahead and move a little bit backwards to look at frequency tables for a second. This again is when we have the kind of variables that we want to look at how many people gave each response. One of the easiest ways to do this is to start out maybe with the treatment and the gender options. So if we go up to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Frequencies, probably no surprise there, that's where we're going to find how to make a frequency table. One thing to note is that when you are doing analyses in SPSS, you might be using the same window over and over again. Rather than have to go manually and put things back into this section over here and reset everything, you can just click this little reset button and it brings you back to the default. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to get the frequencies for treatment. We want to know how many people were in the placebo or the control group and how many were in the new drug group. So let's put that over there. And let's also get a count of gender, if we can break down that demographic. Okay, now you'll notice by default this checkbox came back where it says display frequency tables, which is lucky for us because that's exactly what we want to do. So we don't have to do anything else. We can just click OK. And it makes a little table for us. So here under frequency table, first one is treatment, where we can see that the number of people in the control condition was 22. The number of people in the new drug condition was 28, right? And it also does the percentages for us, 44% and 56%. These ones don't worry about quite yet. Okay, but here's the frequency table. So it gives us the breakdown of what we need to know. Same thing for gender. Male, 24, female, 26. In both cases, the total is our total N, which is 50. Okay, pretty straightforward. Let's get a little more complicated, though. Let's go ahead and open up a new file. So you're just going to go up to File, Open, and then select Data, because you're going to open a new data file. And let's go ahead and open this Demographics option. Okay, so here we have a few different things. So let's say that this is 20 participants who came from a college sample. You can see the ages are pretty clearly college ages. And we also have gender in here as well, and ethnicity, and just random ID numbers. So let's do another frequency table for gender. We'll just go up to Descriptives, Frequencies, put gender over there. And you can see here now that we have three categories, female, male, and other, but it breaks down to 11, 8, and 1, 55%, 40%, and 5%. So same way to do it as before. But let's try something a little bit better. If we go to Descriptives, Frequencies again, and let's go ahead and reset this. And let's instead do a frequency table for age. There's a little more going on. It's more than just a handful of categories. And this will give us a chance to look at what does age look like as a distribution. So we'll keep frequency tables selected. And if we go into charts, we have the option to turn on histograms. And if we do this, then it'll also give us, instead of just a frequency table, we'll also get a visual depiction of what's going on. Hit continue, hit OK. And here are our results for age. You can see here that we have from 18 all the way up to 28. These are the ages that are possible. We're missing a few, so SPSS doesn't give you zeros if there's no one in that particular value. But we go from 18, which has 5 people in this study who are 18 years old, 4 people who are 19, 4 people who are 20, etc., etc., and it gives us the percentage as well. 25%, a quarter of our whole sample here, is people who are 18 years old. And if we go down, we can see that it gave us a little histogram for us, where it plots the age from 18 all the way up to the maximum 28, and it graphs each bar being how high, corresponding to how many people gave that response. So 18, we have 5 responses for 18, 4 for 20 and 19, and on and on. So you can already kind of see the shape of this distribution. We would call this a positively skewed distribution because the tail is out here in the positive end. There's a lot of people clumped up here at the negative end of things. So this is just a nice little illustration of how the distribution looks, how all the scores come together. And look, they even gave us the mean, the standard deviation, and the N right up here in the graph. Okay, so lots of information with just a few clicks of the mouse. We can do that again if we go up to Analyze, Frequencies, and then we'll reset. Use ethnicity this time. Keep the chart locked on. Keep frequency tables on. And hit OK. And the same thing, we get the same kind of information where we can find out how many people are in this category versus that category, and we can see it visually as well. Although this one isn't quite as nice because it plots things out in this kind of strange way where it still keeps the numbers there. So a histogram is probably not exactly what you're going for in terms of frequencies. But if we go up to descriptives, frequencies, charts, we do have some other options. So if we choose bar chart, what will that look like? Let's click OK, OK. And now you can see here that it puts the labels on there. So now it's labeling things Caucasian, African American, Asian American, and it's not a histogram anymore. It's just a bar chart, which is usually what we want to do when we have these kinds of categories instead of a continuous set of numbers like we had up here with age, or excuse me, like we had up here with age. So hopefully that makes sense. That's how you take data and easily make frequency tables, histograms, charts to get a first look at what your variables appear to be like. In the next section, we're going to do z-scores as a way of going from what you have in your data to putting it all on a normal distribution.